Well, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome in. Landon, what's popping?
I am good. How you doing,
I
sis?
am absolutely incredible. I'm super excited to be having this conversation with you on this evening. What is
Absolutely.
really, really, really going on?
Listen, I'm just excited. And first and foremost, I am honored that you even would just allow me on this platform. This is beautiful. This is fancy, girl.
Hey,
What you
listen,
got
be
going?
fancy. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're
I love
supposed
it.
to
I
be
love it.
making the magic happen. Absolutely, absolutely. So, listen, Landon, I don't want to prolong the hour by dragging things on. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you actually started building this business.
Absolutely. So Landon Taylor, originally from Jackson, Mississippi, west side of Jackson, Mississippi, came to Houston, Texas, 2001. And a little bit about me full time. I am in process improvement and change management. So I am all about helping people understand the reasons why. So the way that I got into this particular business was I actually am a solar customer myself, right? So a couple of years ago, you remember the freeze happened, and my build was, we were averaging about $450 energy bill.
Woo.
Yeah, yeah. So I was looking into solar, and I was like, man, I see a lot of people doing this.
Mhm.
Let me learn about the business. And just from there, it made sense. And I'm excited to share why it makes sense to the people here today and anyone that's watching it after. So really, that's how I got started, just being a customer, being a product of the product, and it made absolute sense. It's the best kept secret in business, I say.
I have to agree with you on that. I totally agree with you. And for myself, I am one of those individuals that loves marketing and
Yeah,
consulting. And so that's what I do. But by night, I build multiple six-figure brands. And when I found out about this particular organization and everything that they were doing to add value in the marketplace, it was
yeah,
no way that I could say no to this fantastic opportunity. So let's get it started. I don't want to
yeah.
prolong the time any further. So without further ado, let us share with you some amazing information. So, first of all, before we get started, my name is P. Coffee Brown. I'm super excited to be a part of this fantastic organization. I am one of the founding members of a company called Build. As you can see on the screen here, Build means to build your mindset, build your business, and build your net worth. Now, I have built multiple six-figure income businesses on my own, fortunately. And the way that I learned how to do those what came directly through this type of marketing, which is what we're going to show you today. So I actually took what I learned from this industry and use it to my own advantage. So if you're anything like me, once you come alongside us and you earn the type of income we're going to talk about tonight, you can take that income and go wherever you want and do whatever it is you choose to do. So let's get into it. We are a high ticket sales brokerage and with four high ticket verticals. Each have incredible income earning opportunities, which we're going to show you in just a few moments. So, why would you build a business? Because nobody is coming to save you. Entrepreneurialism used to be a should, but now it is a must to have multiple ways to earn income. Our current financial crisis in the United States is something that we cannot laugh at or sneeze at. We have to pay close attention to what's happening in our nation. People are being laid off like never before due to AI. We have inflation, we have recessions, we have people with mass bankruptcies. Bankruptcy has been on the rise, especially since the pandemic ensued, where people have had to resort to losing everything just to start over. And of course, the tax situation. If you know anything about taxes, then you're aware that taxes always increase. Matter of fact, in my community here recently, we found ourselves paying higher taxes than we have been before. We got a notification, and all the taxes in our area actually went up significantly. So we live in an age of the gig economy. What is the gig economy? I'm glad you asked. Things like Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, and Shopify are just a few of the gig economy businesses that have evolved over the past few years, and people are taking advantage of those. Uber, for one, is a phenomenal way to generate revenue, but guess what? It does not have a residual income. You have to go to work if you want to eat, if you're doing Uber. Same with Etsy, Airbnb. You have to attract the clientele and then hope that they don't destroy your property. And Shopify, same concept. You're going to have to do some significant marketing in order for any of these transactions to cause you to be independently wealthy. And I have not met anyone yet that has used any of these to actually become independently wealthy and have residual income. What to look for in a business opportunity? I'm glad you asked that question. Industries with a big target market and low market penetration are significantly important. And what we're getting ready to show you is an industry that is only 5% saturated in the United States. Essential goods and services like gas, electricity, and water, and these industries that will thrive in a good or a bad economy, regardless of the stability of the economy. You want to identify a business that will thrive anyway, like a business that we're going to show you in just a few moments. So we have a few significant services. I mentioned to you earlier that we have 4 high ticket items, and one is solar, aka renewable energy. It will be solar panels directly put on your roof for you to be able to harness the energy from the actual daylight in order to bring the energy into your home. It goes from renting your energy to owning your energy. So that's what that puts you in a position to do. And on average, the commission is anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 per transaction. And then, of course, when you do that, we want you to be able to take care of your assets by having a home security system. Those pay out $500 to $700 on commission. Now, let me share it with you. We have another one coming called Ripple. Ripple has no strings attached, meaning that it is portable. You can take it anywhere that you're going to be. And guess what? It secures the place that you're in so long as there is an active Wi-Fi connection. And then I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who drinks water out of the faucet, but everybody drinks water. And so we have a Rain H2O program to where we're able to give you alkaline water right out of the comforts of your own home. Eliminate all of those bottles that you've been consuming out of the plastic. And those are not really the best ways to consume water anyway. But on average, it's $1,000 to $2,100 in commission for those transactions. And lastly, the residual income. I'll tell you what, the Smart Money Club is an amazing way for you to generate significant income for yourself and your family. So let's talk about solar. Why get involved in the solar industry? Again, I'm so glad that you asked. There's 130 million homes in the United States today. Approximately 5 million of those have gone solar. 85 million homes are eligible and are not currently in solar. That means that 90 million properties in this nation are eligible for solar. Now, let me tell you, if somebody told me I had 90 million opportunities to be able to identify someone to get the product that I have, chances are I'd take advantage of that. Because considering those factors, there is no way you cannot win. Why consumers? Why solar is for consumers? I'm glad you asked that question. You can save up to 50% on your energy bills, meaning that your energy bill currently that you have, you can cut that in half in some instances. For other individuals, it may be 40%, it may be 30% for someone else. However, over time, we actually teach you how to eliminate that bill. Again, going from renting to owning your own energy with 0% down, with various financing options, blackout protection. Listen, how important would it be for you in whatever region you live in to have blackout protection? I tell you what, living in Texas, it's not optional, it is mandatory. We always have some type of storm here in Texas to where we lose power, and it happens multiple times in the year. Tax credits, you can receive a tax credit up to 30%. Listen, if you're like myself and you're in a significant tax bracket, you need all the breaks you can get. And this is a fantastic way to take advantage of tax breaks. And it's an immediate increase in the value of your property. You ask why? I got the answer for you. Because whoever actually takes advantage of owning your property will find themselves over time with no energy bill and owning their energy. That's the value in a nutshell. And of course, clean energy. Who wants to lower their carbon footprint? I know that I do. In 2022, somebody went solar every 44 seconds. From then to now, you can imagine what those numbers look like. This is a legitimate career opportunity. And before I tell you that part, listen, let me ask you, where have you gone to build a business for under a $200 investment to turn it into a six-figure profit margin? We're going to teach you how to do six figures in 6 months. Listen, anybody that I know would want to do six figures in 6 months. That means you can duplicate that same process and do six figures in the next 6 months, and you can put yourself in a position to head towards seven figures quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't know anybody's traditional position where they're going to make sure that you get to a six and seven figure income. And on top of that, make sure that you get a check every single month, regardless of if you work or not. Honey, let me tell you, I have built a six-figure publishing company and I still own that company. But prior to coming on board here, and when I started building that company, I was able to generate significant income as far as residuals are concerned. A book that I published in 2020 still gives me residual income today. Could you imagine doing one thing one time and it gives you a myriad of benefits on a continuous basis every month? This will help you to do that. You can do it part time or full time. The sales are phenomenal because you can do 90% of it virtually. Simply refer solo customers and earn up to 50% of the commission. Become a Build member, close sales for other consultants, and earn 50% of the commission. Where can you go where somebody did the work and you get half of their earnings? Honey, listen, if I could have gone back from the years of being in traditional work and literally capitalized on all the people that I have helped and supported and got half of their, don't you think you would have worked a little bit harder just because you knew you'd be compensated at half the rate of whatever that other individual was earning? That is beyond fantastic. So don't want to sell solar? It's fine. You don't have to. A team can earn from the sales they make. You can earn from the sales that your team actually makes. Listen, again, where can you go in your position currently and generate revenue from somebody else's transactions upwards of 50% and then have a kickback on top of that from the work that they did? Nowhere. Nowhere. I'm telling you right now, they don't want to give you that kind of money. But I tell you who earns that kind of money, the person that owns your company. They are getting it and getting it good. Believe me, you. So we also have some phenomenal guarantees on our products and services. 25-year protection guarantee. Our guarantee is the best in the industry, and we are the only solar panel installation company that 100% guarantees the amount of energy that your solar panels will produce. Now, let me tell you how important that is. If for some reason your panels are not producing what we said they would produce according to the kilowatts, we actually make certain that you and your family are compensated for those transactions. And in most instances, we get it right before you ever even know about it. So we make sure that we take care of you on the back end and the front end. Guaranteed power, return loss savings, and guaranteed production. Now, that's what I'm talking about. If I can deal with a business like that, then so can you. What do you see here? Honey, listen, all these homes are without solar. That means that all of these properties have an opportunity to go solar, to get the renewable energy. And I will tell you a little bit of a secret. We are in front of the wave right now because 10 years from now, the government is no longer going to offer the kind of incentives they're offering now. Why? Because the actual United States will be what's called saturated at that point. And once saturation happens, the capitalization goes down from there. So you're in the right place at the right time. And this is what we call the sweet spot. Customer testimonials. Customers in California, one customer paid $287 a month for solar. And after going solar, their actual monthly bill went down to $148. This particular deal, let me tell you what this deal did. This particular deal is so fantastic because with this particular deal, the actual commission was $6,400. The mentor earned $3,200 and the mentee earned $3,200. Now, Mr. Taylor is going to tell you a little bit more about that when he comes to the stage to share some information with you. And this customer in Florida, $410 a month before solar, $290 after solar. Now, Mr. JC Rangel, our VP of sales, says a solar presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. The commission was $8,200. The mentor earned $4,100, and the mentee earned $4,100. Listen, think about it. Half of somebody's earnings coming to you in what we call hot leads directly from the company once you reach a specific pinnacle of success. And again, Mr. Taylor is going to share more of that about for you in just a few moments. Energy costs over time. Listen, anybody that's on this live, you have paid energy costs lower yesterday than you will tomorrow. And what does that tell you? It's time to do something to stop that inflation. With solar, you will be able to capitalize on a guaranteed rate to where your energy is not going to continue to increase. You will be able to protect and preserve your family from inflation and that nasty, horrible grid. Listen, if it's not for you, then that means you don't own a home. That's the only reason why. Or for some reason, you're not eligible at the property where you're at. But chances are you will be eligible, and chances are this will be able to add value to you and your family over time. Lock in your energy costs with no money down and receive up to 30% in tax credit. Now, this young man right here is somebody that we've seen before. Handsome picture, by the way. The energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says Warren Buffett. Ask him why he invested millions and millions of dollars into energy, and that's the reason why. Because of deregulation. He knew before we knew what we're getting ready to experience right now in this great nation. So I'm excited about that. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be one of the most amazing times we've ever seen in history. And your family and my family will be blessed and able to benefit from it. So without further ado, I want to yield the mic over to my friend and my business partner, Mr. Landon Taylor, as he shares with you some exciting news on how to get to the money. We did tell you we want to show you how to earn six figures in 6 months. Mr. Taylor, take it away.
Wow. I mean, I don't have to do much. I mean, the church is already shouting. I mean, goodness, wow, awesome job. But yeah, I mean, everything that you said, Coffee, was exactly why I started this business. I was that customer, like I said in our intro, who had that high bill and needed to get that done. And then I saw the business, right? It made sense to me just as a consumer, right? So let's get into it. Let's get into it from here. So let's talk about the ways to get paid. So Coffee spoke to all of you about the who and the what. Let's talk about the how and the why. So we're not going to go over all of these. A few of them that make sense, and we'll talk about the ones that really will drive. So before we get into that, let me do a disclaimer, Coffee, because some of these figures that they're going to hear, it may be unbelievable. So we're not saying that just because you start with us that you will make everything that we're talking about, but we will show you exactly how to get to those facts and figures. So everything that we're talking about is all about your efforts, right? So let's talk about personal sales. So 70%. So Coffee showed you the example of California and Florida where they split those sales. So what the company does is, we're going to use $10,000 as the example here for the install. The company pays out 70% of that profit, right? So 70% of the 10,000 is $7,000. Now let's go back to the example that Coffee gave you earlier in Florida. That's a 50-50 split. So that's $3,500. Let's say you're just the person who's introducing this and someone else is closing for you. Unlike other industries where you have to be fully licensed to even begin making money, listen, you can start today and we can show you exactly how to make between $3,500 and $7,000 average just by either sending a text message or picking up the phone, right? So let's say, Landon, Coffee, listen, I like sales. I kind of want to get serious about this. So we're going to talk about mentor sales. How do I get to mentor? How do I become the person who closes the deal, right? Well, you have to do 3 sales with a mentor because we want to make sure you know what you're talking about, right? We operate in absolute integrity and transparency. You have to close 5 sales on your own, and then you have to complete a company certification, right? So we want to make sure that everything you're doing, because you're dealing with people's lives here in their homes, so we'll make sure you're good to go. So let's look at some examples. So let's say you have 4 people who say that, hey, Landon, I want you to help me close these deals. I'm going to bring you an energy bill, of a friend of mine. I want you to take a look at it and see if you can help them. Well, for example, let's say there are 4 people who are bringing these to you. We're talking about 12 sales and an average of $3,500. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason we talk about that income disclaimer is because we're talking about $42,000 in commissions. And these are hot leads. As Coffee said, these are people you may not even know, but they're bringing them to you because they know that you can get the job done. So we're looking at your efforts, but let's just imagine, right? What if you had a team of people that, we teach you how to train them, right? We have all the trainings and everything that you need to be successful for you and your team. Let's talk about that for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, when you begin with us as a consultant, no team at all, let's say you have one person who you just introduced to this, 20% override. Now, this is company override. So whatever your friend makes, they make, right? But the company holds 20% just for you as a thank you for introducing your friend to this operation, right? And you're still getting 70% of those commissions. But let's take it up a notch. Let's say, your team is growing, your team is getting better. Now we're talking about 30% frontline overrides, meaning, Coffee introduced me and she said, hey, I think you would really enjoy what I'm doing right now. Take a look at it. And I say, yeah, sure. Why not? Now, Coffee and I, we're doing installs, right? We're introducing solar, and people are getting solar on their homes. 10 deals in a 60-day period. Now, Coffee now gets a 30% frontline override, a 10% bump. Ladies and gentlemen, we have taken the politics out of productivity. Some of us may be in some jobs where, we may have been up for promotion, but we just didn't get it just because of politics. Listen, that's not happening here. You do 24 team installs. And again, this doesn't have to be someone that you directly introduced. And we can talk about that a little bit more in detail later. But let's say 24 installs happen. You continue to grow and get that bump. So let's do an example of managers, right? You become a manager with 10 consultants, each doing 1 sale, right? We're not talking about superstars doing 10 sales each. We're talking about 1 sale for 10 people. Ladies and gentlemen, approximately $6,300 in overrides, right? 4 coming from your first level, 6 coming from anywhere else on the team. And again, this is a business where you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself, because we're going to show you exactly how to get your team trained and how to get them ready to do business in the field. And let's say, even if you do just 1 sale yourself, $7,000 on that commission, we're talking about over $13,000 plus the $7,000, $20,000 a month in total earnings. I don't know where you can do that on a 3-figure investment, as Coffee said, under $200 to get $20,000. Where can you do that, right? So let's try another example, right? Let's say two deals each, $20,000. But let's say you're rolling. Your team is rolling 50 consultants. Again, not everybody that you've introduced, right? 50 consultants. 30 coming from your first level, 80 coming from anywhere else, $67,500 in overrides. I mean, Coffee, seriously. And this is not far-fetched. I mean, people are on track right now as we speak to do this, right? Breakdown on average 10K margin, $36,000 on your first level. I mean, we're talking, over $31,000 on the rest of your team on a 15% override. And we're being very conservative here, right? So where can you go, again, under $200 to make something like that for the month? People are making that per year, but you have the opportunity to make that in a month. All right. So we talked about solar. What I love about this company is it's not just solar, right? Some people say, solar is cool, but what else do you have? Well, we have home security. As Coffee said, people every day, every 26 seconds, a home is being broken into, right? So, why not? You're already at the home, right? You get them solar and say, by the way, why don't you secure the value that's inside of your home, right? So, we're doing average commissions of $400 to $700 per sale paid out the very next week. I mean, that's a bonus. Here is my favorite part, Coffee. So you talked about taxes, right? You talked about, taxes going up, but let's also talk about the tax benefits when you have your own home-based business, right? The Smart Money Club talks to you about smart tax planning. It talks to you about being your own bank, credit repair, credit building, right? How many people do we know who want to own a home, but they just don't know how to get there, right? So it's not just about the credit. It's about understanding and planning and saving. We also have bill savings. We have a platform that helps you to save money on your bills. We have a company that will go out and look at all of the bills that you upload in your household, including Netflix or anything else that you have, and they purposely go out to find you a better deal. So we're talking about making money, but more importantly, we're talking about saving money, right? Because there are many six-figure earners, but a lot of six-figure earners are still living check to check. So we want to make sure that you're prepared with the money that you're making. All right. Another good part. So we use this weekend, actually. I said, I just want to see what's available and how much money can we save. So my wife and I this weekend, we actually used our Bill rewards to save money on a little fast food restaurant. She's 6 months pregnant, and sometimes the cravings just happen. So I said, you know what? Let me just see if there's a coupon for something that we have in our membership. And sure enough, we saved 20% at that restaurant, right? So, the rewards, the savings, they just keep getting better. Over 50,000 restaurants, retailers, travel providers. I'm even going to use this for the hotel that we're going to stay in California here pretty soon. I mean, it's all in the package that you get when you begin with us, right? So just more and more perks that we have as a business. And we're talking about the average savings, $2,500 plus, right? So here is the power of the dual team. So we talk about, doing things on your own, but what happens when everybody does a little bit? Coffee, when I saw this, I saw the numbers and I said, man, this is scary. But when someone broke down to me that not only will my efforts count, but the efforts of everyone in our network counts, this made sense to me. So let's talk about subscriptions. So for those of you who have been living in the last 20 years and not been on the rock, you understand the power of subscriptions. You understand Amazon Prime. My wife and I, we both have Amazon Prime subscriptions in one household. Netflix. I mean, in our family, I think there are probably 5 Netflix subscriptions, right? The CEOs of all of these companies are getting overrides on every single one. Coffee, I know you're laughing, but seriously, I mean, my sister-in-law has one, my mother-in-law has one. I mean, just everybody has a Netflix subscription. But just think about that. What if you could harness the power of subscriptions, right? What if you can introduce 20 people, not just you by yourself, but within our entire network, and earn $500 residually off the subscriptions on everything we talked about? See, we just talked about the savings. We talked about the taxes. We talked about the hotel savings that was within itself pays for itself, $2,500 average savings. What if you could harness that? I mean, we're talking about all the way up to $250,000 per month, right? Once you become a Builder 500, listen, $500 a month is a lot for a lot of people. Most people, right? Most Americans don't have $500 saved for a rainy day. So we're talking $500 in subscriptions that could $500 a month based off subscriptions. And then when you go to Builder 1000, there's a 20% check match on that first generation, meaning as your impact grows, your income will as well, right? All the way up to, again, $250,000. So listen, You can't beat that. I don't know any other industry that can harness the power of a network. Listen, again, for under $200 and $99 per month, you get 4 businesses. Now, Coffee, I didn't mention this earlier, but my wife and I, we actually have an Etsy business. And starting that Etsy business, yes, we have an Etsy business where we do t-shirts. And starting that business was well over almost $1,000 when you include the marketing, when you include the setup fees, all of that. So again, and as you said, you said it perfectly. There is no residual income on that Etsy business, and we do very well. I mean, we have schools that get t-shirt orders from us, but again, no residual income. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know your situation, but here's what I do know. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I don't know any other place where for $200, your 7-figure or 6-figure dream can be realized. Listen, you say, well, do I have to pay that $99? Listen, I don't pay the $99 per month. I've introduced this, Coffee talked about, what it would look like when things are saturated. Here is our goal. Our goal is to saturate the market as a company. We want to be the largest, most transparent and honest company out there doing business. And we want you to be there with us. We want you to be a part of that saturation because we're coming and people know that we're coming. And we want you and your efforts to work with us. So again, I don't know what your situation may be. I don't know what your family dynamics are. But if you've listened to this video this far, your dream is still alive. So, Coffee, I'll end it there. And for those of you who have invited guests, get back with them. If someone invited you to this call, let them know, you're ready to get started and how, you can be helped to make 6 figures within 6 months. So thank you for your time. Coffee, I'll turn it back over to you. And
I love it. Yes. That was amazing. Listen, if I hadn't signed up already, I would say sign me up right now. So anybody out there that's listening and watching this program, and we got about 59 people on the call right now. We got upwards of almost 70 people on the session on tonight. So if whoever invited you to take a look at this phenomenal opportunity on any social media platform. We're live everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We are everywhere. And so whoever invited you to take a look at this amazing opportunity, get back with them. Tell them when you're ready to get started, and they will get you set up and teach you everything that you need to know to be successful within this company. So until next time, grace and peace be unto you and your household, and we'll see you at another time and share more with you on how you and your family can go from 6 figures a year to potentially 6 figures a month. Good night for now.